Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to build a one-hit Enderman farm for your Minecraft world. This design uses a platform at height which drops the Enderman to the maximum amount, bringing them down to one hit. This farm should give you a total of 33 levels in 1 minute if you start at level 0. Before we get into this tutorial, these are some of the resources that you will be required to use to build this Enderman one-hit farm. Now to kickstart this tutorial off, I'm going to start by saying it's going to be very dangerous to build this farm, because you'll be over the end void. So I recommend taking minimum amount of resources with you each time so you don't die with all the resources on you. However, if you have an elytra, this will make it 10 times easier as you're less likely to fall into the void. So we now need to get to the lowest point of the end island. So to do this, we're going to start by placing a lava bucket over the edge and let it flow all the way down to the very bottom. We now want to mix lava with water, and we want to go ahead and place a water bucket on the very edge right here. And as you can see, the cobblestone will be formed all the way down to the very bottom. Don't remove this water just yet, because we're going to jump down and get a few leaf placements so we can place ladders all the way back up. So we want to come down to this very point right here, being extra careful as we don't want to fall into the void. We can then go ahead, get out here just like this, place a couple of leaf blocks just like so, and then what we can do is grab our ladders and place them all the way back up to the very top. We can now remove this water as it's no longer a use to us. The next step involves leaves, and we're going to place 2 stacks of leaves out from the end island. So we want to head in this direction right here. Make sure to use leaves or bottom slabs, otherwise Endermen will spawn on your platform. Now that we've come out all this way, you should be about 128 blocks from the end island, which is enough to get maximum spawn rates from the Enderman. So we now want to turn around, grab our building blocks, which I highly recommend not using blocks the Enderman can pick up, so we're going to use endstone bricks. We want to start by making a 9x9 platform, leaving a 3x3 cutout in the middle. This is what your 9x9 platform with the 3x3 cutout should look like. To make the 9x9 platform safe, we're going to fill in this area right here. Simply remove these 2 blocks right here and replace it with a double chest. We can then come behind that double chest and place hoppers facing into that chest. Remember to make sure that they face into that chest, otherwise ender pearls will get clogged in the hoppers and cause some lag. To prevent lag even further, we're going to place carpet on top of the hoppers. We now want to grab 2 temporary blocks and build up 2 right here. We can then grab our endstone bricks again and then build up. And what we can do is wrap this around all the way around the 3x3. So there'll still be a 3x3 in the middle, just like this. And then what we can do is go ahead and fill in the 9x9 platform all the way around again. Grabbing our carpet again, we want to spawn proof this area. So we're going to come in 2 blocks, place a double carpet, just like this. We then want to bring this carpet all the way around the perimeter, just like I'm doing right here. And then we want to make these 2 high as well. Now that we've done that, we can repeat the same thing for the outside as well. With our spawn proofing complete, we now want to bring this up all the way to Y level 44. But we're going to start by placing a temporary block here and then another block, wrapping it around like we did with the platform below. We now want to repeat the exact same thing again, so place a temporary block and then our building blocks all the way around where the Endermen are going to fall, so that they don't get stuck out here. We now want to repeat this exact same process all the way up to Y level 44. So skip a block and then wrap it around the 3x3 hole with your building blocks. On Y level 44, we're going to have our Enderman platform, and that's the maximum height where they're going to fall and be one hit down the bottom. So we now want to make our way up to Y level 44, repeating the same process. So we are now at Y level 44, so make sure you are standing on the block that is Y level 44. If you fail to do this 2 blocks too high or 2 blocks too low, the Enderman will either fall to their death or they won't die from one hit. So make sure you are on Y level 44. We now want to come out a total of 13 blocks from this point right here. So 1, 2, and so on. We now want to repeat this exact same process to all 3 sides and then connect the dots and fill it all in. With the Enderman now queuing up on the platform, we want to keep our head down low or wear a pumpkin hat so that we don't trigger the Enderman. But what we want to do is start by placing our 3 trapdoors right here, and then 3 more trapdoors on the other side, and then 1 here, and then 1 here. We can now open up these trapdoors. These trapdoors here are simply for the Enderman to think that there are full blocks in their way. So they think that they cannot fall down this hole right here because they think that these trapdoors are open just like this, when in which case they're open. So this will allow the Enderman to think that they can get to the Endermite and fall down this hole, allowing us to kill them at the very bottom with 1 hit. We're now going to work on putting our Endermite in. So we're going to start by placing a temporary block here, another temporary block right here, and then building up a further 2 more blocks. So a total of 3. We can then go ahead and place our iron bar with a piece of carpet on top of that. Now that we've placed our carpet here, we're going to create a little bit of a perimeter around the carpet so we can get our Endermite in on top of that carpet. So we want to start by boxing in a little area just like this, and then we can fill up the walls so the Endermite can't escape. Now this next step can be quite tricky. We want to start by placing a building block right here, and then grabbing our rail and placing a rail facing in this direction. We then want to build this up around just a little bit more so the Endermite can't escape. We then want to jump in the hole, start throwing ender pearls until we get an Endermite. We then want to name tag the Endermite once it's been spawned, and then put it into a minecart and then push it down into that carpet gap. As you can see, we just got an Endermite. I was quick to get out of there because I was on low health. You might want to do the same if you're also on low health. We can probably work from up here now, so we can go ahead and name tag him. With our Endermite sitting there, we can go place a rail and a minecart and he should eventually go in. It looks like he's in right there, so I'm going to go ahead, remove this block, and then we're going to push him into that hole, just like this, and then we can go ahead and remove everything around it. If you are having trouble getting your Endermite in, simply just remove the rail and then place it back, and then place the minecart and he should eventually go in. However, he can be quite a pain sometimes, so I just highly recommend persisting with it. Having the Endermite at this height completely avoids him from dying, so the Enderman cannot reach him, so you will not have to worry about replacing the Endermite at any stage of this farm. If you're on a single player world, this is basically your farm. It's basically complete, you don't need to do any more, The rest is for you to go ahead and start killing the Enderman, just like this. And as you can see, we are raking in the levels very quickly here. And you don't even need to use a sword. We can simply just tap these guys, but I use the big sword, as you can see, because it wipes out a few of them at a time. You don't need to worry about killing one at a time. With a sword, you can simply wipe them all out. As you can see, they spawn back very frequently, so you don't need to worry about the efficiency of this farm. However, if you are on a multiplayer server, you're going to want to avoid as much lag as possible. So having ender pearls queued up right here, not despawning for days on end, will cause lag to your server. So to avoid this, we can simply destroy this block right here, build out a block, and then place a dropper facing this way. We can now go ahead and remove these 2 blocks here, this double chest, and then we can completely place 4 hoppers in a line just like this, facing all into that dropper. These 2 hoppers here will still face into this hopper. So our ender pearls will end up in this dropper right here. So these hoppers are all connected to this dropper, and these hoppers in here are connected to these hoppers. So if we were to drop an ender pearl in there, it will end up in the dropper, as you can see right here. So this means we have hooked up our hoppers correctly. Now to activate this dropper system, we're going to start by placing observer facing this way, making sure the redstone dust of the observer is facing towards the dropper. We can then go ahead and skip a block and then place an observer facing this way. So the 2 faces of the observer should be facing each other with a block gap in the middle. We can then go ahead and place a sticky piston facing this way. So the last step we need to do is place a lever right here, and then we can flick it. As you can see, the dropper starts dropping out ender pearls into the void. Assuming I'm not here and picking them back up, of course. We can then go ahead and remove this block right here, and to turn it off, we can go ahead and remove that lever. As you can see, it stops the dropper and we are ready to kill some Endermen. Now you can use any sword you would like to kill these Endermen, however I recommend having sweeping edge 3 on it to make the efficiency just that little bit better. Although if you don't have any enchantments, a simple diamond sword will still wipe out a fair few. So that is how you build a one-hit Enderman farm in Minecraft. And if you found this video useful, it would mean a lot to me if you could leave a like on the video, and if you want to see more videos just like this one, be sure to subscribe. Remember, this design is owned by iJevon, so be sure to go check out their channel, and the link will be in the description. So thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!